Kamaru, listen, we know you're a gamer here and you are ready for any challenge that comes, but tell me what it was like and what kind of pivoting you had to do from preparing for Gilbert Burns to having your travel delayed and now fighting Jorge Masvidal.
It was a lot of pivoting as far as mentally. That's all it was for me, because the way I fight anyways and the way that I train for each fight, I leave no stone unturned in preparing for my opponent. So it doesn't matter whether they're a wrestler, they're a grappler, they're a striker. I work on every single facet of the game to make sure I'm up to par on everything. And so it just had to be a mental switch, because I'm preparing to go in and fight a dog like Gilbert Burns. And then I get a call that, hey, that has been switched around. Now you have to fight Jorge Masvidal. So, you know, Jorge's a tough opponent. He's a big, bad opponent. He's the next guy in front of me, and I have to go in there tomorrow night and I have to take care of business.
When you assess Jorge as an opponent, I mean, what stands out for you?
Yeah, he's very tough. I mean, a guy that's been in the sport for a long, long time. Not a lot of people, especially as tough as our sport is, not a lot of people are able to withstand having so many fights and still kind of being around and hanging around that top level of competition. And so there's a reason he's been able to do that and still be here. So, you know, respect to him in that aspect. But, you know, when it comes to competing against the elite like myself, I have to go in there tomorrow night and let him know that he's still just a 500 fighter.
I know that you want to make a point. You want to win in emphatic fashion. So how do you believe you actually do that?
Man, that's up to him. You know, for a lot of my opponents, it's up to them. If they're tough enough to be able to drag that beating out for 25 minutes, and, you know, more power to them. But I just don't. I know he's a tough opponent, but I just don't see him being able to drag it out for 25 minutes. So I think it's going to stop. I think the fight is definitely going to end within 25 minutes.
Excellent. Well, we are so looking forward to this main event. I appreciate your time. Good luck to you. Have fun out there.
Thank you so much.
Thanks. John, back to you guys.
All right, a little side-by-side career comparison on the headliners tomorrow. Masvidal's been at this a long time, turned pro back in 2003. Kamaru Usman actually won a D2 national title in wrestling in 2010 before he turned pro in MMA in 2012. Masvidal with one more UFC win than Usman, but of course Kamaru is 11-0 in the big show. Kamaru lands more strikes per minute. Masvidal would appear to be the bigger knockout threat, and in terms of the takedowns, much more a part of Usman's game than Masvidal's. All right, so there is this backdrop of bad blood. Radio Row earlier in February, Super Bowl week, they got into it, had to be separated. This seems like a legitimate rivalry, and the heat does not seem fabricated to me.
No, certainly not fabricated whatsoever. But I just think Jorge Masvidal will do this with everybody. You know, I mean, at the end of the day, there it is. We're taking a look at it earlier in the year, talking a bit of smack back and forth. And you know what, Masvidal, as I said, he does this with everybody, you know, because at the end of the day, you're going to step into an octagon and you're going to beat each other up. You're going to punch each other in the face. So, you know, he's doing what he needs to do to, you know, to get himself going, to rev up his engine, so to speak. And I was the similar way when I used to fight. You know, some people need to be like that. Usman, of course, for that, he's going to take offense. And,
right.
And from Usman's perspective, he's trying to take his belt. He's trying to take everything that Kamaru Usman has worked so hard for. So he's taking that personally as well. So now I think both guys have forgotten why they initially disliked each other. Now it's just like, I hate that guy, he's the enemy.